Back at it again, man. How y'all doing? It's a brand new day, a brand new moment, a brand new chance to live the best form of your life that you can live, possibly. What I want to talk to y'all today is about what is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? No, I feel like everybody got their own definition of what the meaning of life is. And the meaning of life is definitely something that's different for everybody. But I feel like us as humans, we get kind of confused as to what the meaning of life is by what we're presented, you know, what we see on television, what we see in the news, what we see by a neighbor. We kind of get confused as to what the meaning of life actually is. I feel like a lot of the time, we try to live somebody else's life that isn't our life. We get confused on the life that we're supposed to live in by what we're presented. We get confused by these celebrities that we see and we want their life when that is in fact their life and not yours. We all been through it. I've been through it. Anybody who is human has been through it, I feel like, because we only learn what we're taught. And if you've been taught anything, you've only learned that from somebody else. Now, that changes when you form your own opinion on what you've learned. So that is in return taking the information that you receive from another different type of content and forming it to fit yourself. So therefore it becomes a thought of your own that has been fabricated from another place. But I feel like the meaning of life is pretty much whatever you truly and deeply want it to be. I feel like it's whatever you want to pursue. I feel like it's whatever making you I feel like it's whatever makes you happy. You know, if you get extreme joy from helping your neighbor move all of their furniture out their home into their next home, that should be your purpose out of life. I feel like if you get extreme joy from saving all the animals in the wild and keep them from being hunted and killed and made trophies out of, that should be your meaning out of life. I feel like if you get extreme joy from making software for computers or building hardware to change the technology of the world, that should be your meaning out of life. But I also feel that the meaning of life is more than attaining something. I feel like the meaning of life could be having a deeper relationship with yourself. I feel like it could be having a deeper relationship with your spiritual being. Because as we all know, your spiritual being is a totally different being than your physical being. You could be the most physical, fit person in the world and not have any spirit at all. and not believe in anything. Or you could be the most spiritual being in the world and not be physically capable of doing anything. So those two things can be totally unrelated. But I feel like it is until we combine those things, the physical realm and the spiritual realm, that we truly become our best forms of ourselves. I feel like the meaning out of life is something difficult to explain and understand by us humans that, have only been placed here without a conscious decision of why. I feel like it's a very deeper meaning of understanding to this whole thing that we don't have the capability of grasping. But I think that's the entire point. I feel like if we were given the answers to the test, nobody would take it. If you're given the answers to any test, either the test is going to be the same and you make 100, or you think you got the answers to the exam and the exam ends up being completely different than what you thought it was going to be. So the meaning out of life is whatever you want it to be. But you have to want to attain something out of life. I feel like it could be pretty much anything that you can make whole inside your brain. So that could also be a definition of success. Whatever you want it to be. If you feel successful with getting a family, living in a shack, growing your own garden and making your own food, if you consider that successful, I consider that successful for you because you got your meaning out of life on what you felt was purposeful for yourself. I think us as humans, we get hung up on how other people feel about our purpose that we stop even trying to reach the things that we feel that are purposeful for us because we don't want to get judged by the next individual of not reaching a certain height on what they feel is right. So that would mean that you're not living for yourself. You're living for the next person's ideas on how they feel about you and how they feel about what you have come to attain. I feel like also that it takes more than one life to understand the meaning out of life. I believe that we reap what we sow. Karma is truly out to show us something. She's really here showing us everything that we do, and she's giving it back to us in many different forms that we have no way of explaining or examining until we actually go through these things. So the next time you try to understand what the meaning of life is, I want you to look at yourself and what you want to attain. And I feel like you will have some form of what the meaning of life is. And you will be that much closer to becoming your true self. That's all I got for today. And I'll talk to y'all later.